There's a game called Carcassonne. In Carcassonne, you are expanding the ancient French city of Carcassonne. What's going to happen is everybody's going to get these different colored meeples. You're going to take out all the meeples of your color. And you're going to have one of those meeples, you're going to put it on your scoreboard. This is what we're going to use to track how many points each player has. We're going to find a tile that looks like this amidst all the tiles. This is our start tile. Put it face down in the middle. We're going to take all of our other tiles and we're just going to put them in some stacks face down over here. Each turn, on your turn, you're going to draw a tile and you're going to play it onto the tiles that are already on the board. The key is that whatever feature you have from one tile has to connect to that feature on the other tile. So if I have a road here, I have to line it up with a road from the next tile. I couldn't play it like this. Fields have to match up with fields. Cities have to match up with cities. When you place a tile, you then have the option of placing one of your meeples on any of the features on that tile. So if I place this tile like that, I can place the meeple on the road, I can place him in the city, or I can place him lying down like that in the fields. The only way you can't put a meeple on the board is if there's already a meeple claiming that feature that you now want to claim. So if I'm green and I go like this, I can't put a green meeple here because I'm building off a city that's already been claimed by blue. If blue wasn't there, then I could put a green meeple in there. But because blue is there, I can't claim a part of this city. However, there is a loophole around this, which is that if I'm green and blue is set up like this, and I place a card here, I can place a green meeple there. Because we still don't technically know, is this going to be part of this city or not? So if this card gets played here later, then these are two totally different cities. I didn't build on blue's city. However, if this card gets played here, now we're both part of the same city, and green and blue both have a claim to it. So essentially, when you're placing that meeple, you had sort of plausible deniability that it was going to end up being a city that you could claim. And so now it just happens to have worked out that you were able to get that city. The reason this matters is because when that city scores, if you both have guys on there, you're both going to get points for it. Theoretically, if green had somehow snaked their way into having another piece of that city, like this, now it's going to happen when it completes. When it completes, is there are more green meeples than there are blue meeples, so green's going to get the points and blue won't get any points. Whenever you complete something, that's how you score points. So right here we have a completed city. The way completed cities work is each tile that makes up that city, you get 2 points for that tile. And then if there's a city that has this shield, or it's called a coat of arms on that tile, that's worth 2 bonus points. So in this scenario, green would get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 points. When the city is completed, we're going to take off our pieces from the board, and we're going to move our meeple up that many points in the score tracker. So again, if we have the same number of meeples as part of that city, we would each get the points. If one player has more meeples than the other, that player gets all the points for that city. When a road completes, so you had a meeple here, and you went like this, you get 1 point for each length of road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points, and blue would move up to 6 on the score tracker. You can also get points for a monastery. So if I have a guy like this, when I build a monastery, I can put a meeple on like that. When I complete all the tiles surrounding the monastery, so I have 8 tiles surrounding it plus the monastery tile itself, I get 9 points. So I get 1 point for the monastery tile and the 1 point for each of the 8 that are touching it. Again, pull this guy off the board, he would go from 6 to 14 points. So as the game goes along, you're going to play a tile, place a meeple if you want to, and then score the points that you get from placing that you get if you've actually completed a feature in that turn. What that means is that as the game is going along, you could theoretically run out of meatballs. So you don't want to just place all of them willy-nilly, placing one each turn, because it's possible then you'll draw a card, you'll really want to place a meeple, and you won't have any left. And you might feel a bit compelled to finish off some of the projects that you've started so you can get meeples back and place them on other spots. As the game goes along, we're going to keep on doing this until eventually we run out of cards. And then whenever the last player plays the last card in the deck, we're going to do end of game scoring. Way end of game scoring works is you're going to get points for different partial stuff that you've completed. So first we're going to do, way people usually do the scoring is whoever is in last on the leaderboard is going to score their extra points first, then whoever's next and whoever's next until we get everybody's final score. So this guy, let's say we're scoring blue's extra points. He would get 1 point for each road that he has as part of that uncompleted road. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like he would have gotten 5 points had this road been completed. Pull this guy off the board, move him up to 19. But for the cities, you're only going to get 1 point for each tile instead of the 2 you normally get. So this city, which if it was completed would be worth 2 points, is actually only going to be worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the coat of arms is worth 1 instead of 2, so 7. So blue would get 7 points, and they'd move up to 26. Monasteries, you're going to get the same number of points you would have gotten had you completed it. So that's 1 point for the monastery and 1 point for each adjacent tile. In this case, that would get you 8 points, which would move this guy from 26 to 34. The other thing that you get points for at the end of the game that you can't get points for during the game is fields. So fields are going to be a guy is laying on a field, and that field is defined as the entire area of the field that this guy that is sort of roped off by the roads that are on the board. So if I have this guy here in the fields, he is a part of this whole area of fields, but not this area or this area because he's walled in by these roads. This guy is a part of these fields, but no other fields. You get 3 points for each completed city that's touching the fields you're in. So this guy right here would get 3 points for this field, but he wouldn't get any points for this field because this city isn't complete. And he wouldn't get any points for this city being complete because his fields aren't touching it because they're walled off by these roads. Fields, just like the other area, if there are more meeples from the other team on that spot, then they claim it and they get the points and you don't. And if you both have the same number of meeples on those fields, you both get the points. So fields are kind of tough because you may be competing over something where you're not going to get the points until the end of the game. And it may be at the end of the game, you don't have as much field as you thought you did because it's walled off by roads, or the cities that you thought were going to get completed aren't, or somebody else has taken over those fields and you don't get the points, but you've lost the use of the meeple that whole game. At the same time, though, fields are worth more points than anything else, and it could easily be the thing that swings the game. Like I said, whoever has the most points at the end of the game is your winner, and that's how you play Carcassonne.